A lot of people say they love themselves, but if that were true, why are we still so scared of being disliked? Why are we still acting different around different people? Why are we still trying so hard to protect our image, look cool, say the right thing, and avoid embarrassing ourselves? That's not self love, that's performance. And if you're always performing for other people, you're never really free. I think a lot of people don't actually love themselves. They like parts of themselves, they tolerate themselves, they're proud of themselves on certain days, but deep down, a lot of people are still depending on other people to confirm that they're enough. And that's why one bad interaction can ruin their day. That's why one person not liking them can stay in their head for hours. And that's why they overthink how they come across, replay what they said, and try to control how everyone sees them. Because when you don't fully love yourself, you start renting your worth out to other people. Now your confidence depends on reactions. Now your peace depends on approval. And now your mood depends on whether people respond to you the way you hoped they would. That's exhausting. And it's also no way to live. The real problem is not that some people won't like you. The real problem is that a lot of people live as if everyone should like them. And that's impossible. Not every human gets along with every human. Not every personality matches. Not every vibe clicks. That's life. So if you keep expecting universal approval, you're setting yourself up to suffer over something that was never possible to begin with. That's why self love matters so much. Because once you truly love yourself, rejection stops feeling like proof that something is wrong with you. It just becomes information. That person doesn't connect with me? Cool, move on. That's a much healthier life. Self love is not ego. And I want to be clear here because people confuse this all the time. Self love is not acting arrogant, thinking you're better than everyone, needing attention, acting too cool, acting nonchalant, pretending you don't care about anything. That's not self love. A lot of the time, that's insecurity, wearing a costume. Real self love is much quieter than that. It sounds like I know who I am, I'm good with who I am, I'm still growing, but I'm not ashamed of myself, and I don't need to become fake just to be accepted. That's strength. Think about how you're around your best friends. You're not calculating every word, you're not trying to look mysterious, you're not trying to seem perfect, you're not trying to protect your image every second. You laugh, you say dumb things, you're spontaneous, you're honest, you're just you. And that's exactly why those friendships work. Because they're built on the real version of you, not the polished fake version. So the question becomes, why do so many people abandon that version of themselves the moment they step into the world? Why do people become stiff, performative, too careful, too image conscious? Usually because they want approval. And approval will make you betray yourself if you're not careful. What happens when you don't love yourself? When you don't truly love yourself, a few things happen. First, you become too affected by other people. Someone ignores you, you feel small. Someone doesn't understand you, you over explain. Someone doesn't like you, you question yourself. Someone brushes you the wrong way, you replay it all day. Why? Because deep down, you were hoping they would confirm something for you, that you're likable, that you're enough, that you matter. But when you love yourself, you stop asking random people to do that job. That job becomes yours. This is why people pleasing destroys peace. People pleasing is one of the clearest signs that self love is shaky. Because what is people pleasing really? It's saying, my discomfort is acceptable as long as you stay comfortable, my truth can wait as long as you approve me, and my real feelings matter less than keeping your image of me clean. That's not kindness, that's self abandonment. Mel Robbins has spoken directly about people pleasing as a habit that drains your energy, time, and dreams, and about learning to put yourself first instead of organizing your life around guilt and approval. That connects directly to this idea. When you don't respect yourself enough to be honest, clear, and real, you start building your life around managing reactions. And then one day you wake up and realize you've been acting for an audience. The approval trap. A lot of people think if I can just say the right thing, act the right way, look the right way, and be liked by the right people, then I'll finally feel secure. No, you won't, because approval is a moving target. The more you chase it, the more fragile you become. Jay Shetty has discussed this difference between wanting to be seen and chasing validation, and has also talked about shifting from seeking validation from others to validating yourself. Cynthia Erivo in conversation with Jay Shetty, also described realizing that applause can't replace inner self worth. That's the whole point. No amount of outside approval can permanently fix the lack of inner approval. If you don't respect yourself, compliments won't save you. If you don't love yourself, attention won't save you. If you don't know who you are, being liked won't save you. What self love actually looks like? Self love looks like being proud of who you are, even while you're still improving. It looks like saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm not against myself. It looks like not laughing at yourself just to get accepted, not shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable, not pretending to be less excited, less caring, less real, less expressive, not acting cold just because warmth feels vulnerable. A lot of people today are trying way too hard to be unbothered, too cool, too detached, too nonchalant. And for what? What do you actually get from that? Usually nothing. You just become harder to connect with and further away from yourself. Example, once you walk into a room full of new people, if you don't love yourself, your mind instantly goes into performative mode. How do I look? How do I sound? Do they like me? Was that weird? Should I act more chill? Should I say less? Should I hold back? But if you do love yourself, your energy changes. Now it's, this is me. If I connect with people, great. If I don't, that's fine too. I'm not here to audition for basic acceptance. That's confidence. Not fake loud confidence, real grounded confidence. Here's another example. Let's say somebody just doesn't like you. No real reason, no huge event. They just don't rock with you. And if you don't love yourself, that can eat at you. You start thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? How do I fix this? How do I get them to see me differently? But if you do love yourself, the response is much simpler. All right, and you move on. Because your self worth is not up for public vote. That's the level people need to get to. Self respect is the foundation. I think the whole conversation really comes down to self respect. Because when you respect yourself, you stop begging for understanding from people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop bending over backwards for approval. You stop performing just to fit in. You stop abandoning your personality to look acceptable. And once that happens, life gets lighter. Because you're not constantly carrying this pressure of how am I being perceived? Now you can actually live. Now you can actually laugh. Now you can actually have fun. Now you can actually be present. How to build this for real. So, how do you build self love? Not affirmations, not just staring in the mirror saying nice things. Real self love starts with a few honest shifts. First, stop talking to yourself like an enemy. A lot of people say they want confidence, but their inner voice is brutal. They tear themselves apart over little things. They speak to themselves in a way they would never speak to a friend. That has to go. Second, stop making your value dependent on reactions. A bad response doesn't mean you're bad. A lack of attention doesn't mean you lack value. Someone misunderstanding you doesn't erase who you are. Third, start showing the real version of yourself more often. Not the polished version, not the safe version, the real version. Because every time you hide yourself to be accepted, you teach your brain the real me is not enough. And every time you show up honestly and survive it, you teach your brain the opposite, the real reward. The reward of self love is not just feeling good, it's freedom. Freedom of overthinking every interaction, replaying every moment, needing approval, trying to be universally liked, living in performance mode, acting like someone you're not. And that freedom gives you confidence, not because everyone likes you, but because even if they don't, you still have you. That's the line. That's the shift. That's peace. At the end of the day, not everybody is going to like you. That is not tragedy, that is reality. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop wasting your life trying to win over people who were never meant for you. Love yourself, respect yourself, be proud of who you are. Stop acting too cool. Stop protecting an image that isn't even making you happy. Stop performing. Because the people who are meant for you will connect with the real you, not the fake version you created to survive strangers. And once you truly understand that, you stop chasing approval, you start choosing yourself, and that's where real confidence begins. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's your boy Anthony, and I'm out.